Hi, everybody. Dan Ullman, Mike Beer, the DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day. For Saturday, June the 3rd is the 9th. We're going 1 mile on the turf. It's the Grade 2 $500,000 Penn Mile for 3-year-olds. Great offer right now on DRF.com. You get free bonus pass performances for the entire Penn National card. Several stakes races on this good card with the purchase of any Saturday DRF PP card. It's a great deal just this weekend. Bonus free PPs for Penn National with a purchase of any Saturday PP. Now let's throw up the field for our Formulator Race of the Day. And Race of the Day, on the Race of the Day event page, free Formulator pass performances available for the Grade 2 Penn Mile. So download them and follow along with us. As you see, we've got a 3-horse entry, Shiraz, bonus points, prize fight. But we'll begin with the horse down towards the inside, Mike. That's the number 2 Bronson for Todd Pletcher. This horse has won 2 out of his last 3 starts and scored last time out, the first time he was given the opportunity to stretch out on turf.
Yeah, it's not that surprising, I don't think, to see that he has actually improved on the other surfaces. He's okay on dirt, but he's really bred for grass, especially on the dam side. And I thought he ran fine in his turf debut. It was only 5 furlongs. He actually ran really well that day. He didn't get back to turf until last time. I like the way that he won there. He got a really good trip. He didn't blow that field away. He didn't get much of a figure for it, but I like the way that he won it.
It was his first race with blinkers. He seemed a lot more focused, and I think you make a good point. He got a good trip, but he's the kind of horse I think that can grab a good trip, especially from this inside post position. Shiraz is 1/3 of this entry if trainer Michael Maker decides to wheel back on a week. This horse is only 1 for 10 lifetime. The lone win came sprinting on the inner turf. He's hard to love.
I agree with that. I mean, he's okay to be sure, but I don't see what about his last 2 races would make them think he could win the Penn Mile.
The X factor in this race is the number 3, Time to Travel. This is a horse trying turf for the first time. He's got a giant turf pedigree.
Yeah, he's really, really well bred for turf and synthetic, and they're going to finally switch him over here. His dirt form is actually good, so we'll just see if he's as good on turf as he is on dirt. Then I guess he's a huge contender in here. I found it hard to love him. I know he has speed, but there's other speed in this race. And I don't want to be betting him against this kind of a field just based on his pedigree.
He is a full brother to the multiple Grade 1 winning turf router, hard not to like. The 4 Sistron ships in from Southern California with good form. I thought Tyler Bays gave this horse a nice ride last time. And it seemed that the instructions were, let's see if we can take this horse off the pace and sit a little bit. Tyler was able to save as much ground as possible on the turn, shot on through along the inside, but a very promising horse, Arms Runner, came and ran him down. That was a good effort. It got a fig.
Yeah, I mean, this horse's turf races are all good, too. I mean, that was a down-the-hill race, and I agree with you. I thought he got a nice trip and ride in there, but I also felt like he ran well, even though he didn't win. And his other turf races are all good. He's got speed, and I think he'll be right up close to the pace in there. I think there are a lot of things to like about him.
Now, all 3 of his lifetime wins have come when he was outright on the lead. Do you think last time they were pleased with that experiment and they will be willing to sit if someone else wants the lead, or do you think Paco Lopez is going to be real aggressive?
I think if nothing else, it gives him options, but I think they should try and come out of there running and see if they can make the lead in here, because I think he's fast enough to do it. We'll see what Time to Travel does. If Time to Travel wants to go, then I suppose you don't want to get, sort of locked up in some quick duel with that horse, but I think come out of there running and try and make the front.
Speaking of the Timeform US Pace Projector, let's take a look at what they have in store for the Penn Mile. As you see by that red bar, we are expecting a fast pace, and not surprisingly, they have the 5 Mo Maverick up in front, considering that if you look at the Timeform US internal fractions for that James W. Murphy Stakes, that pace was red hot. Mo Maverick was on it, and he ended up finishing 3rd to a very promising horse.
That's a good horse, and Yoshida, who beat him. I thought he ran well that day, and he's another horse. I like all of his turf races. I personally feel like this is going to be a little tough for him. He's a pretty good horse, though.
He goes out for a very good trainer in George Weaver, and we have a positive formulator fact concerning this possible speed horse, the number 5, Mo Maverick. Over the past year with 3-year-old turf routers going 2nd off the layoff, 33% and a 438 return on investment. Weaver also has the number 6 Holiday Stone, a horse that was in a bit tough last time out in the American turf, finishing 8th. His best race ever came 2 back in the Transylvania over a very wet turf course when they were aggressive with him. Can't see them riding him the same way as Mo Maverick.
I don't think they could even make the lead in this race if they tried to. He got a great ride from Luis Saez in the Transylvania, and he almost pulled off the upset there because that was just one of those races where the good 2-year-old American Oscar Performance was off the layoff in that race, and they didn't even try to make the lead with him. And so this, Size just took it, gave this horse every chance to win, and he wasn't good enough. That's, to me, the only race that gives him any kind of a chance in this field.
The 1A bonus points for Todd Pletcher is, I believe, cross-entered as an MTO at Belmont in the Pennine Ridge. He won on dirt most recently. Just seems more like a dirt horse, although he is stakes placed on the lawn.
Yeah, I just think he's a much better dirt horse.
I think we'd agree that the horse to beat in here, especially if that Timeform U.S. pace projector is correct, is the late-running, long-striding number 7, Big Score, who won the Transylvania with a nice trip and ride by Javier 2 starts back. And I thought he ran well last time out in the American turf. He had a big look at it in mid-stretch and just came up a bit short.
I agree with all that stuff. I thought he maybe took advantage a little bit in the Transylvania because he got such a good trip and ride, and some other horses didn't really show up in that race. He ran well last time. He took a big run from about the quarter pole to the 8th pole. He took a big run in that race. On the other hand, what was the excuse not to win there, Dan? He got right up to Arklow on the lead there, and he just kind of got turned away and outfinished at the end. He ran fine. If he runs that race, maybe he's the horse to beat in here.
Prize Fight for Michael Maker is also cross-entered in the Pennine Ridge. This horse has done nothing wrong since being transferred over to the Maker barn, but his lone win came for a $20,000 tag.
Hey, listen, I don't put anything past Michael Maker. I think, to me, especially in turf races, he can just do anything. I don't like this horse.
Let's take a look at our top selection for the Grade 2 Penn Mile. We agree on the number 8, Frostmorn. You were a big fan of Frostmorn last year at 2, and he really did some good work, winning 2 out of his 3 races. And the only race he lost, A, he caught Oscar Performance. B, he got sort of like a weird ride where he was checked hard going into the first turn. And C, he caught a really boggy course. His comeback in the Woodhaven, they had to take him out of his game a little bit in a short field.
Yeah, I thought he ran fine in that race. I mean, I think if you just go back and watch it, you'll say, well, he was 4 to 5. I don't know. He took a couple of runs of that horse on the lead there, Secretary at War, who wired the field, and he just couldn't get by that horse. What was his excuse? And maybe there really wasn't one. I still felt like he ran well for being his first one up the layoff. And the other thing I like about him in this race is, and I wonder if you agree with this, if there's pace in this race, and I think there is pace, and this field just runs away from him early, I think it's really going to help this horse because he can be a little bit hard to handle early.
That's the main reason I like him in here. I think there's going to be a lot of pace, and he has shown that he is very capable from mid-pack. When they go fast early, he settles a lot better, and he does kick pretty hard in the stretch. Mike's going to go 8-7, 2-4. I'm going to go 8-4, 7-5 in the Grade 2 $500,000 Penn Mile, race 9 at Penn National. It's a great card at Penn National. If you want to bet on those races, DRF Bets is the way to go. Head on over to drfbets.com/VIP. New subscribers are immediately eligible for a $300 bonus and lots more handicapping information. Approximate post time for the Penn Mile, 7:45 Eastern on Saturday night. Good luck.